You didn't click this video randomly. Something in your life feels unbalanced, and you're tired of pretending it doesn't. You are always the one who understands first, even when no one understands you back. You give people patience before they earn it, and explanations before they ask for them. You don't feel abused or mistreated. You feel slowly drained and quietly replaced. Nothing dramatic happened. That's why it took so long to notice. You kept adjusting because adjustment felt mature, until it started feeling lonely. You don't demand clarity aggressively. You wait for it to arrive naturally, but waiting slowly became your role, and being considered stopped being theirs. You replay conversations in your head. They move on untouched. You feel guilty for wanting consistency, as if stability is asking for too much. You ask yourself why this keeps repeating. Different people, same emotional ending. You start wondering if the problem is you. That question alone shows it isn't, because careless people don't self-reflect, and you never stop. This pattern isn't random, and it isn't your imagination. If this already feels personal, stay, because now we explain why it happens. Empathetic people don't attract the wrong people by coincidence. They attract them because empathy creates access without resistance. You listen to understand emotions and intentions. They listen to locate tolerance and pressure points. You believe understanding reduces conflict. They believe understanding you increases control. You explain their behavior to yourself before confronting it. They take that explanation as freedom from consequences. Your patience looks like emotional maturity. To them, it looks like delayed accountability. They begin with small boundary violations, not to harm you, but to test your response. When you stay calm, they don't feel relieved. They feel encouraged. You absorb discomfort silently. They register silence as permission. You call it empathy when you adapt. They call it control when you stop resisting. They don't chase chaos or weakness. They target emotional depth without limits. You feel connection and familiarity. They feel strategic alignment. You internalize conflict and self-correct. They externalize blame and weight. Your emotional labor keeps the relationship alive. Their effort remains optional. You over-contextualize harmful behavior. They hide behind context to avoid accountability. Gaslighting works best on reflective minds, because you value accuracy over dominance. They rewrite events with calm confidence. You revisit memories with doubt. You shrink your needs to keep peace. They expand demands to gain control. Your self-doubt becomes their advantage. They operate best when you hesitate. You feel demanding for wanting balance. That belief was taught to you. The relationship doesn't survive because it's healthy. It survives because you keep giving. You confuse loyalty with love. They confuse love with access. You confuse patience with depth. They confuse patience with submission. Every adjustment you make strengthens the imbalance. Because limits were never enforced. They don't fear losing you. They fear losing influence over you. And when influence weakens, pressure replaces charm. They overwhelm you with attention early. Not to love you, but to imprint themselves. Intensity feels like truth when you care deeply. They use intensity to blur logic. Closeness accelerates before trust is built. Speed replaces safety. Healthy bonds grow steadily. Manipulative bonds spike and destabilize. Once attachment forms, boundaries feel cruel. They depend on that hesitation. You hesitate to disappoint. They exploit that without hesitation. They promise change verbally. You supply patience behaviorally. Words cost them nothing. Your time and energy cost everything. They resist clarity but enjoy confusion. Confusion protects manipulation. When you ask for consistency, they accuse you of pressure. Accountability gets reframed as cruelty. You reduce requests to avoid conflict. They increase expectations to gain dominance. Empaths seek resolution. Predators keep situations unresolved intentionally. Open emotional loops drain energy. Exhaustion reduces resistance. They disappear when you detach, and reappear when control weakens. Intermittent kindness strengthens attachment. The psychologically addictive. Your nervous system stays activated. They remain emotionally detached. You feel unstable without knowing why. They feel comfortable maintaining imbalance. You question your worth quietly. They never question their behavior. Empathy turns inward as self-criticism. Predators never self-interrogate. The relationship drains you to survive. It never nourishes you. And when you stop supplying unlimited empathy, the dynamic begins to crack. They don't fear confrontation. They fear exposure. The moment you stop explaining and start stating, their advantage weakens. Clarity feels aggressive only to manipulators. Healthy people adapt naturally. When empathy no longer guarantees access, predatory personalities lose interest. They look for environments with negotiable boundaries. You are no longer one. Your calm refusal disrupts their narrative. Because emotional leverage disappears. Empathy with structure creates safety. Without structure, it creates exposure. This change doesn't make you cold. It makes you selective. And selectivity is emotional maturity. Empathy itself was never the weakness. Unprotected empathy was. Protected empathy becomes authority, not vulnerability. You don't need to harden emotionally. You need to sharpen boundaries. Predatory personalities avoid equal ground. They rely on imbalance. When balance returns, they disengage quietly. No drama, no explanation. This shift changes who approaches you and who stays. Healthy people respect emotional depth. Dangerous people exploit emotional access. You stop over-explaining. They lose information. You stop rescuing unstable patterns. They search for easier environments. You stop absorbing disrespect silently. They feel exposed. Empathy supported by strength is threatening, especially to manipulators. The strongest empaths are not loud. They are internally stable. They feel emotions fully and respond strategically. They don't chase connection blindly. They assess behavior calmly. Resistance is sensed before confrontation. Through consistency alone. Your empathy was never the flaw. Your lack of limits was. Correct that and the pattern collapses. Completely. You were never naive or weak. You were accessible. Accessible without protection. Now protected. Awareness breaks repetition. Patterns lose power when recognized. Empathy is rare and valuable. That's why it is targeted. But empathy with boundaries commands respect. Without exception. You don't chase clarity anymore. You require it. And what cannot meet you clearly cannot stay. You stop confusing intensity with truth and urgency with sincerity. You respond to consistency, not promises. Behavior replaces words. You no longer shrink yourself to be chosen. You observe who rises to meet you. Dangerous people don't leave because you change. They leave because they lose control. Your presence feels different now. Calm, firm, unavailable to manipulation. Empathy governed by boundaries is power, and power cannot be exploited. This isn't emotional coldness. It's emotional intelligence. You don't fear being alone anymore. You fear losing yourself, and that fear finally protects you. Instead of consuming you, the same empathy that once attracted danger now attracts respect, because access is earned, not assumed. You stop being the safe place for chaos and become the standard for stability. Your boundaries speak before words, and manipulators hear them clearly. You no longer beg for balance. You live inside it. Empathy was never meant to be free. It was meant to be intentional. Intentional empathy creates strength, not exhaustion. You are no longer a target. You are a force, and forces don't chase validation. They command alignment. This shift doesn't change who you are. It reveals who you always were. Calm, clear, unavailable to misuse. If this video felt like someone read your life, it's because patterns recognize themselves. And once seen, they cannot unsee you. Empathy plus boundaries rewrites your story. Completely. You stop surviving relationships and start choosing them. Remember this. Empathy is power when protected. And protected power cannot be exploited.